What's up, everybody? Hanging out right now. I have Jaeger with me, who's here for a couple weeks to work on some off-leash stuff. And I'm gonna go over how we're conditioning the remote collar to him. So we're gonna do a couple. We're gonna condition this a couple different ways. We're gonna be using a tapping sensation with the command "Let's go," and then we're also gonna be using a continuous sensation on the remote with the "Come" command. When we give the "Come" command, I want him to come all the way into me so I can pet his collar, okay? The "Let's go" command is when he's out ahead of me. I can tap it and turn and teach him to follow me, which lots of times will bring him into a healing position, okay? So we've done everything on leash with him. We spent about a week on leash doing just tons of leash drills and leash work, so now we're working on our off-leash stuff. Now, Jaeger is not very food motivated. Normally, I always recommend doing our remote collar conditioning with food because we use the food to teach. When you feel a stimulation, man, you come running to me, you're going to get fed. Good things happen. Now, he still doesn't have a lot of food drive. He's only been with me for about a week or so we're still working on that. So right now, we're just using praise because we got to get to work with him. You'll see he's still very motivated for this, which is great. But again, there's a lot of ways you can condition a remote collar. This is one way that I like to use, especially for dogs that are not very food motivated. I'll add the command "Let's go" with the tapping sensation on the remote, and then a continuous sensation when I give the command "Come." Now, I don't have a sound box, guys, so know that anytime I give the command "Let's go," I'm going to be tapping 1 or 2 times or maybe even more until the dog turns and follows me. That's the key, until the dog turns and follows. The "Come" command, I'm going to press and hold until Jaeger turns and comes running to me. The moment he turns and comes running towards me, I release it. Now, if he veers back off, I'll simply say no and repeat the "Come" command with pressure on the remote. Okay, the moment he comes towards me, I release that. So again, this is just another way to remote collar condition your dog. Again, everything should have been done on leash first, and then we move into this phase, okay? So do your leash work first, and then when it's time to jump to remote collar, it'll be a little easier. This is his 3rd session on remote collar, and I want to show you where we're at. We're just starting, so who knows what we'll get here. I am going to be working on a level 13 out of 127 on a Dogtra 280C. Okay, now levels may go up or may go down. It all is going to depend on the distractions. I do like to normally start this in lower level distractions. Obviously, we're in a big field, so there's not a ton of distractions, but just being in a field on grass, you get distractions, smells. I've been training other dogs out here, food, balls, toys, things like that. So, and road, cars, bikers, things like that. So just know that we do have some distractions here. And we're going to get to work, okay? Let's go. Let's go. Good. Come. Good. Good boy, buddy. Break. Still using my release command. Break, okay? Means go have fun, run around, right? I usually would be feeding. He's not very food motivated right now, so it just means you're free. Let's go. Let's go. Come. Good. Good job, bud. Hold. Let's go. Let's go. Now you're seeing he's already falling into a healing position. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Now I don't care what side he's on right now. I'm not asking for a heel, but he's walking with me. That's a good thing. Come. Good. Good boy. Now, when I give that "Come" command, couple important things. One, come means come and stay with me until I release you. Okay, that's big. The other is when I give that "come" command, I really want to be able to pet that dog's neck, okay? Want to be able to grab a hold of them. Yeah, good boy. Mwah. Right? A lot of dogs will stop 4 or 5 feet short. You go to put a leash on them and you can't. Good job, bud. Break. Now he's free to go. Now look. Now he's engaged with me. Now I'm not using this, right? He's turning his following. So, a big mistake a lot of people make when they do this is they notice that their dog is starting to turn and follow or coming before they hit the button, right? That sounds great, and it's like, oh, I never even hit the button. My dog came. This is awesome. So, it's fantastic. But in the beginning stages, when we're conditioning the dog to the remote, right, we want to hit that button every time, okay? Because we want consistency, and we really, truly want the dog to understand how to turn that pressure on and off, okay? When I give the command, I hit it. Now, the conditioning phase, I'm going to do this for, X amount of days. It might, depending on the dog, it might be 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 days, a week, right? Okay, so most of the time it's anywhere between 3 and 5 days. Then I can kind of go to where I'm using it randomly. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, but I always have it there if I need it, right? He doesn't respond, I go back to using it. The other thing is if you're in a new area, right, I'm on it every single time again in the very beginning, because new area means new distractions. So I get out there, I get him out of the car, I'm in a new environment, I'm probably going to be on this remote a lot in the beginning. Then I can kind of go to using it on and off as I want after the first 10, 15 minutes or whatever it may be, okay? So again, when you get to a new area, when you're conditioning this, you're going to be on the remote a lot. Even if it's a week or 2 weeks later, you get to a new spot, you're going to probably be on that remote a little bit. And then slowly you phase off of using it again, okay? So, again, when we give that come command, we're pressing and holding, drawing that dog to us, making sure we praise, right? Come. Good. Good boy. Want him to come running to me. Now, again, I love to use food for this if I can. He's not super into it. We're building that food drive, right? So hopefully that gets better. That way you can reward like crazy with that food. Come. Good. Good job, bud. Now, break. Now the other thing is, make sure you always have a leash on for this, whether it's a 6-foot leash or a long line. This is a 15-footer. Always have to have that on there. If we don't, the dog might get confused and run away, or you're raising levels up. We want to keep levels as low as possible, you guys. Use it to communicate with the dog and to build motivation to come to you. Come. Good. Good boy. Good. That's what we want. Break. When you're comfortable enough, then you can drop that leash. Come. Good boy. Good job, bud. Let's go. Let's go. Now, the reason we want to keep that leash on, even if we're feeling comfortable, this might be for a week, 2 weeks, a month, right? Or even longer. It's important that the leash is there, because if the dog gets confused, we have a distraction, there's confusion happening. The leash is there to help guide. I can step on the leash. I don't have to crank levels. I can step on the leash and guide. Come. Good. Good job. Break. Right? So the leash is there to help me guide. I just add leash pressure. Good. Right there, okay? I don't have to turn and crank these levels, because at that point the dog doesn't understand it. He's confused, and it's our job to help the dog, not correct the dog. Help the dog through the situation, okay? So there you guys go. That's just another little way that you can condition your dog to the remote collar. If you're ever running into problems with the remote collar, go back to this. Go back to the simple stuff, using food or praise, a ball, whatever. But you go back to let's go, tap, 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 and come, press and hold, bring the dog to you. And you teach that dog to follow, okay? There you guys go. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later. Bye.